there's so many to pick from, so many that have had transformational careers in terms of their impact in science and life sciences. But for me, Da Vinci is probably one that speaks out the most because he was a true Renaissance man, able to kind of spread his passion for science into a love for the arts and kind of blend the two together. And I think that the more that we find passion and diversity in the work that we do, the more impact that we can have later on in life.
Well, the late, great Stephen Hawking, I actually had the privilege of meeting him when I was the minister. And it was wonderful to meet him. I have an autographed picture with Stephen Hawking. He autographed it with his thumbprint. And I just wish that I had had more time to get to know him. So if I had the ability to talk to somebody, it takes a bit of time to talk to Stephen, but that's what I would do.
Dr. Emily Stowe is my pick as the person I'd most want to have dinner with. Dr. Stowe was born in the 1830s, and she studied to be a medical doctor. Unfortunately, she had to do that in the United States because you couldn't be recognized as a woman here and allowed to study. But she came home, back to Canada, and that started a journey for her of advocacy for women and health, for changing institutions and policies. In fact, she was one of the architects of our suffragist movement.
Well, I think we've been very fortunate with the scientists we've had, the alive ones. Like, I suppose I could come up with some famous names like Einstein or somebody, but we've been very fortunate with the scientists. We've been very fortunate to have Molly as the CSO, and the science team we've had, we've been very fortunate. We've done some really fantastic science. We've developed some really fantastic products, and we've been fortunate with our scientists.
I'd pick Robert Langer, a professor at MIT, who's to some extent the godfather of modern biotechnology. And the reason I want to spend dinner with him is because I want him to explain to me how a prolific and very sensational scientist can also become very entrepreneurial. And so that you know, there's multiple companies that got started based on technologies that came out of his lab. So better understanding of the interface between academic research and entrepreneurial activities is what I want to discuss with him over dinner.
I've actually had the pleasure over my career of 30 plus years of having dinner with many amazing leaders in the community. I would actually love to have dinner with my father. He passed away 17 years ago after a 10-year battle with dementia and Alzheimer's. And I never really got to have those adult conversations with him. He was in international trade, many trade missions for Canada, did a lot of business development, connecting people. And I strive to be like him in my career. And I would love to have dinner to sort of recap all of that now.